Good evening, and thanks for staying up late with us tonight. I'm Brooke Buckner here with meteorologist Simone Thomas, and even though it's feeling chilly out there now, I just heard you mention we reached some record highs in the state.
Yeah, a good chunk of the state today reached some record highs as we got to take in that last day of fake spring ahead of that winter's revenge we've been talking about that was on the way for the past couple of days. 81 was the high in the capital city, beating out the previous record of 78. That was set over 30 years ago in 1994. Pine Bluff also set a new record today, getting up to 86. El Dorado set a new record today, getting up to 87. The Queen over to our west set a new record, as well as Texarkana. Texarkana got all the way to 90 degrees today ahead of that cold front. Now, just kind of to put into a perspective where that front is starting to exit the state now. We're seeing more of that cooler air filling in across northern Arkansas. Temperatures are already in the 30s, some 40s in north central Arkansas. In central Arkansas and further south, we're seeing those lower to middle 50s. As we continue through the evening, those temperatures continue to be on a decline. So by tomorrow morning, waking up in the upper 30s and lower 40s, but feeling like those lower to middle 30s. So you're definitely going to want to bundle up if you're headed out tomorrow. More details on the week ahead are coming up in just a few.
Thanks, Simone. Jefferson County trying and failing once again to pass a budget tonight. THV 11's Carter Thweet was at the meeting and tells us what happened and how help could soon be on the way.
That's right, Brooke. As we know, Jefferson County employees have not been paid since January 1st. It's due to a standoff between County Judge Gerald Robinson and members of the County Quorum Court. And even though tonight's meeting was a bust, this could be resolved soon by the state, something Judge Robinson says he has mixed feelings about.
I have already been informed by several justices that they were not going to be in attendance.
It takes 7 justices to pass a budget in Jefferson County, and on Saturday night, only 4 showed up to a meeting called by Judge Gerald Robinson the day before. So Judge Robinson used the time to make a presentation on compromises he says he's made to justices who disagree with him.
As you can see, we made several concessions in order to try to get this taken care of, get this done.
But the conversation quickly turned to Senate Bill 182, which has the support of the governor and state senate and will go before the House on Monday. It would make any county that can't pass a budget by January 1st adopt last year's budget as a stopgap. But it also says the county judge and quorum court members can't be paid until they pass a new budget.
This bill may be signed by the governor, but there is many flaws in this Senate bill.
Lloyd Franklin is a former justice of the peace who has publicly disagreed with Robinson. He was in attendance Saturday night and says he approves of SB 182 and the way it came about.
If you watch the state legislature, I watched. They asked questions. If somebody wanted to change something, they could. That doesn't happen here in Jefferson County. This is the Republic of Gerald Robinson.
But Robinson says he was ready to compromise and work something out Saturday if the other justices had showed.
It's unfortunate that you guys have had to come here tonight and we're not able to have a meeting.
Now, Lloyd Franklin did have a response to that. He told me that the judge sent out a 200-page budget on Friday night, and he says it's unreasonable to expect anyone to read all that and attend a meeting on it on such short notice. So it remains to be seen if Jefferson County can pass a budget or if SB 182 can make its way through the House and get that signature so Jefferson County employees will finally get paid. Stick with us on THV 11 as we continue to follow this situation.
Thanks, Carter. The Jefferson County budget battle was part of what was a busy week for lawmakers, including Governor Sanders. On Wednesday, she stepped up to the podium to announce a multi-million-dollar initiative aimed at improving maternal health. The Healthy Moms, Healthy Babies Act establishes pregnancy-related Medicaid coverage, paying for up to 14 prenatal and postnatal care visits. From pregnant mothers to public school kids, the governor also putting a name to her plan to get phones out of schools. The Bell-to-Bell No Cell Phone Act would let schools lock up personal electric devices on campuses. It passed the Senate and is expected to quickly move through the House next week. And Thursday, an emotional debate over the bill to end affirmative action. Senate Bill 3 made its way to the House floor, the same point where a similar bill failed 2 years ago.
Racial disparities exist and they are real, and this bill ignores that. Senate Bill 3 ignores the fact that the playing field in our society is not leveled. It disregards the reality of bias, and it falsely perpetuates itself as a bill that seeks to do good rather than harm.
This bill, I want to tell you, it ends affirmative action. It strengthens our discrimination laws. It makes them more powerful. It does not stop us being able to make sure that we're not being discriminated against.
The bill eventually passed 65-27 with 8 Republicans siding with House Democrats. If it clears a final Senate vote next week and is signed by the governor, policies that give preferences to minorities will be banned in state government programs. Now to a late-night development in the federal legal troubles for Hot Spring County Sheriff Derek Finkbeiner. He was arrested last night and taken to the Saline County Jail. Finkbeiner is currently awaiting trial on federal charges of coercing an informant to take drugs and perform sexual acts. It is not clear if this arrest stems from new charges or violations of his release terms. We have reached out to his lawyers and federal authorities. Stay with us on THV 11 as we work to learn more. Meanwhile, Home for Healing holding a special prayer vigil for Ben Horton, the young man who suffered a severe traumatic brain injury while duck hunting last month. The organization says they hope the vigil shows Ben's family that they have a place to stay and they have not only a community, but people from all walks of life that are praying for them. Ben's father, Greg, says he is overwhelmed by all the people that have supported them through this difficult time.
We're just in awe of the support we've received. It's supernatural. Yeah, I can't say enough about Home for the Healing. We didn't know places like this exist. You know, when we get through this, I'm going to do what I can for them. You know, pay it back.
Horton also tells us that Ben has made progress and is now gaining pupil response in both of his eyes. He also says he's thankful for the 23,000 people in a Facebook group supporting Ben's healing journey. Earlier today, crowds were marching through Boyle Heights in downtown LA, protesting President Trump's immigration policies for the 7th day in a row. Here's more on their message that is met with a heavy police response.
Hundreds of people marched down East 1st Street in Boyle Heights Saturday afternoon. Holding signs and flags, they're marching with a purpose.
We're coming out here fighting every day and taking it day by day, and hopefully something gets turned around.
We'll never be divided! As protesters marched, police blocked off some on-ramps to avoid people going on the freeway. We'll never be divided!
Everybody's here as a community, so happy to be cheering together. Most of my grandparents are from Mexico and came here as immigrants many years ago now.
They made a quick stop at the detention center before marching to City Hall. Since taking office, President Trump has acted on his campaign promise of conducting mass deportations of people in the country illegally, particularly those charged or convicted of crimes. This man told us he came out to support the marchers. He says many people who cross the border have come to work and not cause problems. According to ICE data, an average of more than 1,000 undocumented immigrants have been arrested each day since President Trump was sworn into office.
We need to stand up. This is not a time for us to be hiding. This is a time for us to stand up.
Protesters say it all comes down to one thing.
Everybody is equal, everybody's human. Just because we're a different color doesn't mean that we gotta be treated unequal.
Back here at home, 50 Black-owned businesses gathering together under one roof, celebrating Black History Month. It was the first annual expo to celebrate the holiday at the Maumelle Event Center and was filled with music, shopping, food, and so much more, making it the one-stop destination for family, fun, and community.
I just think it's really important for us to come together as a community, especially with everything that's going on in the world today. So this is what this event is all about.
If you missed it but want to find ways to get involved in different Black History Month celebrations in Little Rock, you can visit our website, thv11.com. The Junior League of Little Rock hosted a free women's health and wellness clinic earlier today. It featured medical professionals from different healthcare organizations such as the Breast Center at Carti, University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences, and Arkansas Heart Hospital, among many others. They explored the most pressing health issues directly impacting women of all ages. Soaring egg prices have consumers stressed, and it's leading to a rush at stores and even theft. Bird flu is to blame. In just the last month, it's infected nearly 23 million birds. CBS's Allie Bauman is in New York with more on what some are calling a crisis.
Have you ever seen this before?
From customers stockpiling cartons at Costco to thieves hatching plots to steal them, people are getting desperate.
There's not an egg to be found.
Some chains, including Trader Joe's, are capping how many eggs customers can buy. This cashier says the store can't keep up with demand.
Just calling constantly like, oh, are they in the back? But like we literally have none.
How have you been finding the egg prices?
They're high, and you know, a lot of people are getting hurt by it.
In the past week, 100,000 eggs were stolen from this distribution center in Pennsylvania, and thieves nabbed over 500 from this cafe in Seattle.
It's not just the price, but also it's really hard to get. Sometimes you order it and they'll never show up.
Nationwide, entire flocks of birds have been killed to stop the spread of avian flu, which is almost always fatal for domestic poultry. One person in Louisiana died after contracting the flu from infected backyard birds. Several strains of bird flu have been passed to dairy cattle, sickening at least 67 people. But the CDC says the risk to humans is still low. Experts in food safety say the chicken we eat is safe.
There have been a couple of outbreaks on broiler farms, but really not much.
And that means just like eggs, the packaged raw chicken that you find at your grocery store has been inspected and is free of bird flu, which includes chicken wings, the Super Bowl party favorite. Allie Bauman, CBS News, New York.
And speaking of the Super Bowl, coming up next, as the Chiefs look to make history with their third Lombardi in a row, some are asking, will they call it a three-peat? Plus, the Arkansas Razorbacks men's basketball team also focused on the number 3 with a third-ranked Alabama Crimson Tide in Fayetteville. Later in sports, Nick Luttrell is live from Bud Walton Arena with more on if Arkansas could extend their win streak.
And that next cold snap is starting as early as tonight, but by tomorrow, feels like temperatures staying in the lower to middle 30s all day, so make sure you bundle up. More details on the week ahead are coming up right after this break.